Hey everyone, this is Frank. Welcome back to Gigabyte. Today we have another edition of the Ghetto server vlog. So today I'm going to be upgrading the system because I finally have the CPU that I intend to use. So the CPU and the motherboard is going to get upgraded. And also I want to revamp the system by installing Ubuntu. Instead of using FreeNAS, I want to use Ubuntu. Hopefully I'll be able to just import the file system I already have set up, the RAID Z1 array, and I won't have to do any data transfer. Also, I'll need to get the network bridge I set up going again on there. That should be easy, pretty sure I remember how to do that. And in addition, I need to get Plex Media Server set up because it's been a while since I've had it now, and that's getting kind of annoying. While it's disassembled, I might try and do a couple of other things like put heat sinks on the network card. You see I have a fan running just straight on it here because it does get kind of warm. Might try and put some better heat sinks on there while everything's disassembled, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get into the actual video. The server's actually been running for a few days now, I think about a week, and it's been working really well. I've really been enjoying having all of that space to play with on my network. But the new CPU has arrived, and that is sitting right here. This is an LGA 1150i5 CPU. Now, this is actually going in my home theater because I want to play more games on my home theater, but the dual-core Pentium in there is really bottlenecking it. So I wanted to upgrade to an i5, and I figured since I'm doing that and getting the Pentium out of there, I can use it in the server, which I know it doesn't sound very powerful for a server, but we're really not doing very many CPU-heavy tasks. So it should work pretty good for what I need it for. And it is getting paired with this motherboard, the Z87X UD5H from Gigabyte. This is one of their top-end motherboards on the Z87 platform, and it is so overkill for what we are doing. Ridiculous levels of overkill, and I love it so damn much just because of that. But the only reason we're using something this overkill is because it was £35 off of eBay. It was just such a crazy deal, and I happened to spot it, and I thought, you know, I gotta take it for the server. It's exactly what I need, all of the overkill. This also means I can get rid of this stupid little graphics card, which is just making more noise and consuming more power and taking up space. Because of course the Pentium has onboard graphics and the motherboard has graphical outputs. Graphical outputs? And again, like I said, we're going to be running Ubuntu this time. So I'm going to be installing that on a 16GB flash drive instead of this hard drive, because this hard drive produces more noise than the rest of the system combined, and it's way too much space for what we need. So I'm just going to unplug it and get rid of it. And this also means that if Ubuntu doesn't work out, because FreeNAS is still on here, I can just plug it in and things will be back to the way they were. I also have the SSDs for the final server already ordered, but they're coming from China, so it's going to be a while before they get here. But when they do, oh, there's going to be another vlog and it is going to be good. But first, let's get these system upgrades in place and get the server back up and running again. This motherboard is so friggin' baller. The system's back up and running, and it is looking so much more badass than before. I know I've said it before, but I love this motherboard. It's so overkill for a Z87 board. It has 2 HDMI, DisplayPort, and dual-link DVI video outs at the back. It's just so unnecessary for integrated graphic video outputs. Dual gigabit Ethernet, like who needs that on a consumer board? I mean, some people have a use for it, and so it's just really awesome that they put it on there. I'm going to stop talking about the motherboard now. I just really like it, and I'm really excited to start using it. We're installing Ubuntu on a 32 gigabyte USB flash drive right now. It looks like it's installing without a hitch. We'll get it done in a bit, and I'll explain what I'm going to be doing next to set up everything in a moment, because we had a minor issue when trying to set this up, unfortunately off camera, but it made me nearly die of fear. So you saw that I put these heat sinks rather dodgily on the network card, but when I plugged it in, nothing. It was not being recognized, and the reason I tested this, because there is an LED on this NIC that I did not know about that has fault written next to it. What it actually was those metal push pins that held that little heatsink that was on here before, they connected the two, the holes that they passed through. They electrically connected those two holes. So essentially this fault mechanism was just a system to make sure that you had a heatsink on. And if you removed it, it wouldn't work at all. Kind of cool, but really annoying. And of course, with that gone, I need to figure out a way to connect those two. And this was off camera, which is a good thing because my soldering's pretty bad. I just soldered a wire to connect the two, and it works fine. I'll come up with a better solution that's more permanent in the future, but this is working fine for now. Once Ubuntu's finished installing, what I want to get done is just to install a few utilities that I want to be using on the server. So one of those is P-Sensor to monitor temperatures. It's a pretty good temperature monitoring application for Ubuntu and Linux-based systems. As well as that, Smart Check program, so something that I can check, run smart tests on the hard drives to make sure that they're healthy. Of course, the first thing I want to do is install the ZFS utility program. I think it's ZFS utils, and then hopefully import the RAID array, so I don't have to do any copying data off and then back on. And what else? I know something else. Oh yeah, I want to install some sort of program. I'm going to research it now, that's going to allow me to remote into this machine from my Windows machine. So I don't have to have peripherals plugged into this one. I just remote into it from my main rig and I use it like I am now. That will be really useful, so I don't have to have peripherals plugged into this at all. As well as that, we've got to install Plex, because my girlfriend's getting kind of annoyed that we can't watch TV in all of the different rooms. But yeah, Plex. Okay, we're basically done. I think there are a couple of housekeeping things I want to do, but for the most part, all the major things are done and we are up and running again. So the RAID array, the RAID Z1 array, was immediately detected by ZFS as soon as I installed it. It immediately detected it and mounted it in Ubuntu so I could access all my files really quickly. That's one of the huge advantages of using something like ZFS, which is implemented on different operating systems, and it's at a software level, is that I took this array that was created in a completely separate operating system on a completely separate set of hardware actually, and plugged it in, and immediately, like that, got mounted in Ubuntu and I was able to access my files again. Also, I set up a network share again and the network bridge, just like before I got those set up. Really easy to do in Ubuntu. The network share was literally a right click on the folder I wanted to share and then click local network sharing. Similar thing with the bridge. It was click create bridge and then add the connections you want to bridge and done. Really, really easy. And in a similar note, I've also set up Plex Media Server. So now all of my media, movies and TV and stuff are able to be accessed not only from PCs, but also from Android devices like my phone or my tablet via the Plex app in a very, very nice user interface. But also what Plex allows you to do is transmit over the internet. So now anywhere in the world that I have an internet connection, I can access the movie and TV on this array, which is really freaking cool. The CPU temps have been topping out in the low 50s, which is crazy when you think that this is a zip-tied on cooler with no fan on it, but that's what you get when you stick a massive heatsink on a dual-core CPU. Really pleased with those temperatures. I also installed smart control so I can check the health of my hard drives, really important. And another thing that I've done is the way I intend to control this, sorry, I'll bring the camera over. The way I intend to control this is, if you look at my main rig, hopefully I'll keep it centered, sort of, not really. I'm using remote desktop to remote into the Ubuntu machine from my main rig. So you can see there, I have it open. And this was super easy to set up. I used the built-in desktop sharing utility in Ubuntu to enable sharing, and then I just downloaded VNC Viewer, which is a free program you can get on Windows to remote into my server. So this means that I can basically use that the server without having any peripherals plugged into it. So I can have it sitting in like a corner in the case, and I can remote into it and use it as if I was sat at it. And I'm just going to do a quick test while you're over here. So close VNC Viewer. Here is the network share with some video files from when my main rig leaked, and I kind of vlogged that. That was horrifying. So this is a 4 gig file, and hopefully you'll be able to see I should be getting a clean 100 megabyte per second transfer. So yeah, a pretty clean 100 megabyte per second link there. Now, what's even cooler is the whole reason I'm doing this. If I just take you down to the hard drives there, I am going to transfer another file. So this is another 4 gig file. Yeah, 4.2 gigs, and you can see it's transferring there about 100 megabytes per second, a little bit more than that. And what I'm going to do is just pull the SATA cable out of one of these hard drives. Here's the SATA cable, 100 megabytes per second, still going as if I didn't do anything. And that is why this setup is so damn good. Now I'm going to plug it back in. It just didn't care. It didn't even recognize in the transfer that I had unplugged a hard drive. I'm really happy with the progress we're making on this project. It does seem to be going somewhere in a reasonable amount of time, which is nice. The only thing I think left to get are the SSDs for the boot drive. They should be arriving soon. They've arrived in the country. They are the cheapest ones I could find from China. So I'll also be reviewing those and expect that video on the channel at some point soon. Yeah, they should be here soon. Other than that, I need to get a few really quiet fans that I want for the final system, and also some extra hard drives. I need more hard drive space for the final server, and that unfortunately involves me waiting to find decent deals on hard drives, as well as having a bit more money that I can spend on this project. So yeah, that's going to happen whenever it happens, but do expect more updates for this sort of vlog series, I guess we'll call it. I already have an idea of what I want to do for the next one, but let me know what you think of these videos down below, because I'm really not sure about them. They seem like they could be very, very boring. It's just me talking shit about hardware and then doing shit with hardware. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any advice that you want to give me on how to make these more interesting or more watchable, we'll say. So yeah, let me know what you think. But other than that, this has been Frank Jaeger with Jaeger Tech. Have a good one.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!